Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's great to have you here today. My name is Aaliyah Schneckenberger, and I support mid-market content at Intuit. We're so excited to bring you this special event sponsored by Intuit Enterprise Suite. If you're a CEO, a CFO, or a key decision maker of a company that makes $2.5 million or more in annual revenue, this is the right place for you. Here at Intuit, we know as businesses grow, it's an exciting time, and it can be a journey that's fraught with unknowns. We've decided to put together this series of webinars to celebrate the success of all of your growth and also address some of the challenges we know that all of you could be facing. And most importantly, as your partner, Intuit, we want to provide you with some solutions. Intuit Enterprise Suite is a configurable AI-powered business platform that brings together all of your financial, payroll, HR, marketing, and cash flow tools in one place and offers a new way to partner with Intuit through dedicated success managers. With your tools and data connected, the platform streamlines operations, increases productivity, and improves decision-making with business intelligence and insights for your next phase of growth. And we all know growth is great. Throughout this series, you'll have the opportunity to see Intuit Enterprise Suite in action through demos by our resident experts and a whole lot more. We know as existing QuickBooks customers, as your company grows, you are likely thinking about upgrade opportunities and what that might entail. We're going to break it all down for you in this webinar and talk through the benefits and demonstrate how easy the upgrade experience to Intuit Enterprise Suite is. I'm joined today by my colleague, Matt, and he's going to introduce himself now.
Yeah, so my name is Matt, as was mentioned. I've been with Intuit almost 25 years. Really excited to be on this webinar with you today. And especially having the history, seeing us expand from just one desktop offering into online and, supporting bigger and more complex businesses. And now we have Intuit Enterprise Suite. So I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about, what's behind that product. As Aaliyah mentioned, how easy it is to integrate, jump in the product, do some demos. And of course, if you have any questions, we look forward to a follow-up interaction with you as well. So appreciate having me today, and we'll turn it back to you, Aaliyah.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Wanted to just share our agenda today and kind of what you can expect. So first, I'm going to start by sharing some insights regarding challenges businesses like yours may be facing as they scale and grow. And we're going to tap into some research that was conducted in partnership with Forrester, reinforcing what we're seeing in the market. We're going to talk about Intuit Enterprise Suite and how it can help solve some of these challenges. The bulk of the time here is definitely going to be spent with Matt, sort of in product. But I'm going to focus on the upfront here on three key areas. The first being data consolidation, streamlining operations and financials, and then creating cost savings. And then Matt's going to take it away. So let's dive in. So when we think about data consolidation and intercompany transactions, prior to implementing Intuit Enterprise Suite, Forrester found that growing companies were facing challenges revolving around manual processes and disparate systems. Nearly 6 in 10, 59%, which is a staggering number of Forrester's survey respondents experienced data fragmentation with their current financial ecosystem. These issues resulted in slow processing times and resource bottlenecks due to manual data entry and reconciliations. Furthermore, inconsistent and inaccurate data hindered the CFO's reporting capabilities and obscured stakeholders' visibility into company interactions and operations. The study found that Intuit Enterprise Suite can help to unlock better decision-making through streamlined intercompany transactions that unlock reporting efficiencies and data accuracy and enable your company to recover revenue. And Matt's going to go into that in a little bit. Again, a staggering number here. So the Forrester research found that efficiencies from intercompany transactions could save bookkeepers significant time with a projected 3-year present value of almost $130K at a mid-range level, which is staggering. Among accounting tasks, intercompany transactions are among the most painful, manually time-consuming, and error-prone processes, as I'm sure you all can attest to. Disparate systems, applications, and browser windows can make intercompany transactions time-consuming and, quite frankly, more prone to error. They too often require manual data entry and reconciliation across multiple accounts and entities. With Intuit Enterprise Suite, the consolidated financial systems and accounts into a single login and window can streamline your processes when it comes to data entry and reduce errors for businesses with multiple entities. Next, we're going to talk about reporting efficiencies. So, as everyone knows, generating reports and providing access to financial data can certainly be a bottleneck. Data can be fragmented and systems can be disjointed. CFOs running reports with outdated information from disparate tracking systems puts nimble decision making with accurate to the moment reports out of the question. It's just almost impossible to make on the fly decisions. Intuit Enterprise Suite's real time data and enhanced reporting capabilities, including spreadsheet sync, allow for faster report generation and broader data access. 8 in 10 Forrester survey respondents said they can envision generating better insights and reporting with Intuit Enterprise Suite. By extending access to financial reports and dashboards to roles beyond finance, organizations can empower employees, reduce ad hoc report requests, and improve decision making. Now let's move into streamlining operations. And first, we're going to touch on invoicing. So, manual invoicing processes can be time consuming, as well as for bookkeepers, as well as for CFOs, and they can ultimately delay the collection of revenue. Intuit Enterprise Suite automates invoicing activities and expedites invoicing schedules, saving bookkeepers time and providing a more accurate view of company financials. Taking a more proactive approach to invoicing allowed Forrester's interviewees to unlock capital sooner than they would have otherwise. And again, I'm showing you a bunch of stats here, but just looking at the cost savings and what you can potentially expect, it is quite staggering. And now let's talk a little bit about payroll. Managing payroll across multiple systems, software solutions, and entities can be complex and inefficient. The workarounds required to complete such payroll procedures can extend payroll processing times. Intuit Enterprise Suite streamlines payroll processes by housing them on the same platform as the company's accounting, saving time for both bookkeepers as well as C-suite level resources. 53% of Forrester survey respondents expect to see improvement to the payroll process with Intuit Enterprise Suite. Better payroll efficiencies extend into better employee experiences. One Forrester interviewee noted, saying the company can run payroll more often now that Intuit Enterprise Suite makes it a less laborious process. And then thirdly, cost savings, which I'm sure everybody is very interested in saving money as well as time. A medley of back-end financial systems and digital services are often cobbled together by finance departments that are outgrowing their current solution. And we know that many of you are probably in this predicament at this point. Disparate solutions, lots of different departments using different applications, et cetera. This can lead to high technology costs and vendor management overhead. By consolidating functionality onto the Intuit Enterprise Suite platform, organizations can decommission redundant solutions and systems, saving on technology costs and reducing the time spent on vendor management. So not only cost savings from, the financial perspective, but also time savings, which is what we all want at the end of the day. In a majority of Forrester survey respondents envision saving on technology costs with Intuit Enterprise Suite. 82% say they'll save on accounting related costs, and 63% say they'll save on email solutions by using MailChimp through Intuit Enterprise Suite, which is a great add-on if you go, the Intuit Enterprise Suite route. The Forrester report projects that companies using Intuit Enterprise Suite save up to 16 hours per month for technology resources by cutting back vendor management. Now I'm going to pass it to Matt. He's going to dive into the product and show all the benefits of Intuit Enterprise Suite and how easy it is to upgrade. Matt, take it away.
Well, thank you, Leah, for taking us through that. And yeah, it's, these are such common problems that businesses face. So how can we make it better? Well, I'm excited to show you, how you're moving from your current financial software to Intuit Enterprise Suite really can do just that. Can help you out with streamlining the business, saving costs, improving CFOs and CEOs' ability to understand what's going on with the business, make real-time decisions versus, decisions when it's a little too late, or making, as you said, Aaliyah, decisions with only half the data, not all the data. So how can one software kind of do all that and quite a bit more? Well, let's take a few minutes and start taking you through it. The first thing that we mentioned was, again, expansion. It was, having multiple businesses, the need to share expenses and do intercompany transactions. That's something when I do demos and talk to clients all the time, I ask, hey, how are you currently keeping track of all the expenses between businesses? And you'd be surprised how many times they say, well, a separate Excel spreadsheet, or I just kind of keep it in my head until the end of the month. Well, the problem with that is if you forget to enter it in at the end of the month, or by the end of the month, you've had possibly tens of thousands of other transactions. It's so easy to make mistakes and take up that time we were talking about. So yeah, let's go into our product here and show you a little bit about how we set up the foundation to not only help you with intercompany transactions, but also help you manage multiple businesses or entities. And then we'll kind of get into how we can get you into that forward-looking view into your business for those real-time insights and those real-time actions you can take to make course corrections or adjustments when it's critical. So let's start off with what we were talking about. First of all, intercompany transactions. What we clicked on here was our multi-entity tab. This is a new tab. If you have desktop or if you have QuickBooks Online, you're not going to see this multi-entity tab. But you will in Intuit Enterprise Suite. And what it does is sets up a number of foundations. One for intercompany transactions. We'll show you a few things just really quick. Managing multiple businesses, it's important for each EIN or entity to have its own set of books, for it to be able to interface with its own bank account, etc. And so you'll notice here, this is set up in a parent-child relationship. And each company has its own unique ID. This is what allows us to handle multiple businesses, and in fact, we can handle all the way up to 200. So this will continue to grow and expand as you do. But once we've established our org chart, what about if in some of our different businesses on our chart of accounts, we maybe have a different name? Well, that's where this intercompany account mapping really sets up the foundation for a lot of what we're going to talk about. Intercompany transactions, as well as those combined financials, profit and loss, balance sheets, etc. So here's where you could go in, and if you need to do an intercompany account mapping, again, let's say that your receivables in one account is slightly named different than your receivables in another account. Here's where you can go make those associations. And the reason that you want to do this is because this will help you automate both the debit and the credit on both sides of the intercompany transaction, not just for the one company, but for all companies involved. So let me show you what that looks like real quick. If there's any variances, again, on your chart of accounts, use the intercompany mapping. But for transactions, if we want to split up that intercompany journal entry or expense, we can go to this view and see all of them that we've already done. We're going to add a new one just to show you how easy this is to do. And what you're basically going to see here is the intercompany transaction automatically is toggled on. Here we can go and we can choose which of our 10 companies in this, for instance, do we need to share this expense with. Let's say it's the parent company and we had a few different purchases that we made, maybe for marketing, advertising, legal work, equipment. Here you can go in and select your parent company, your child companies. You can go into your chart of accounts. Makes it super simple. You can say whether this was a debit or a credit. You can say what amount. And then when you go ahead and click save down here, What it's going to do is, again, make the debit and credit, in this instance, in all 4 business accounts. The great thing about that is, again, you don't have to forget. You don't have to, worry about making a mistake, making a credit here, but forgetting to make the debit there, or vice versa. This does it all for you. But we even made it better. This was a huge step forward, and we were really excited to have this when we first rolled out Intuit Enterprise Suite. But we've done a few things to make it even better. So one of the things that we've done to really help you out is, again, instead of waiting till the end of the month and having to go in and split up all those transactions or those expenses across businesses, why not do it real time? Like we were talking about earlier, the bank feed, all your transactions can come in on a daily basis. What's nice is you can go in and select any transaction, and you can hit this drop down, and you can click on split. What this is going to allow you to do is you can actually split this transaction between different companies. So what's nice is, like I said, instead of waiting until the end of the month, if you have a lot of these, you want to do them right as they come in through the bank feed. We actually have the ability to do an intercompany transaction or split up that expense right at both either the expense or the income level inside of Intuit Enterprise Suite. So again, just multiple things that we have, multiple tools to help you manage and run your business a little bit more efficiently. But let's go back to our multi-company, and we want to show you one additional thing. We talked a little bit about journal entries. One other thing we'll talk about, Leah mentioned it about confidence in reports. When you only have half your data or partial amounts of your data, you have a whole team of people trying to work in Excel and other things to combine it. It's easy to over or understate revenue. And it's easy to do that when you're doing intercompany journal entries or sharing income or expenses. Manual eliminations will help you to make sure you don't double count your inventory. And that's important, not inventory, but your income or expenses, excuse me. But that's important for what we're about to show you next. So if we go back to our multi-entity and our overview, and again, we're running 8, 10, 20, 100 businesses. Now we want to step back and we want to understand not just how is one business doing, not just how is my parent business doing in this case, but how are all my businesses doing? So I can click on a profit and loss, and I can see all my businesses rolled up immediately. But let's say, I have investors or different owners, and let's say, or I'm just curious because some of my businesses are focused on different things. What you can do is you can actually go in here, and what you can do is you can only have a subset of these businesses. So instead of all 10, I just want these 4. So I've selected those 4, stepped off, and here I can see my adjusted profit and loss. If, again, for investors or for other reasons, it'd be nice to have those companies as columns so that you can kind of follow along a little easier on the profit and loss. Again, if you're investing in these 4 businesses, you'll probably want to see the titles at the top and see how the different revenues are doing. Here it's all broken out, and again, those manual eliminations are there for you. But what else can we do to help you? Well, another nice thing that we can do is give you insights, quite a few insights on the reports, as well as, we had talked about just making things more automatic when it comes to your accounts receivable. So let's maybe go there next. One of the things I'm really excited about this software is not having to manually chase your accounts receivable. Why not let the software do it for you? One of the neat things we can do is in our workflow automation, you can set up reminders. You can set up if-then statements. You can use this all sorts of different ways, but we're going to touch on accounts receivable because I do agree with Leah and the research. It's one of the biggest things that ties up cash flow. It's one of the biggest things that ties up staff. Having to go in and remind your customers all the time, hey, please pay me. Why not have the software send out that message? So again, we could go to an invoice. We could go to a reminder, go to next. You'll see the if-then statements pop up. Okay. If we click in this, so if an invoice status is unpaid, what do we want to do? Here we can set some amounts, but also what we can do is we can send a reminder. So, hey, if this invoice is maybe 3 days before it's due, maybe if it's 3 days overdue, maybe the day it's due, you can set up multiple rules and the software can automatically send out reminders and help you get paid faster. But what about the other thing that we had talked about, which is payroll and time? There's a lot that we can do here. And again, we're just kind of barely touching the surface here due to time. Would love to have you on a demo and show you more. But like I said, one of the other neat things that we can do is show you your payroll expenses real time, as well as show you your time tracking and how that goes into your profitability. So when it comes to payroll, again, we can do everything here that a fully outsourced payroll company would normally do. All you have to do is get the hours to us, and we'll talk here in a minute about how we can even make that easy. But once you get the hours to us, then you can see your time. You can go in and improve that time. You can run your payroll. You can even pay contractors and other things. We even have benefits management like 401k, workers' comp, other various employee benefits, healthcare, and things. And so if you want us to kind of manage not only your payroll, but your benefits administration, as well as we also have HR help. All of that we can do to help you out. And then again, to make time tracking easy, we even have a time module where if your employee has a smartphone, they can see their schedule, they can clock in and out, and all that's directly sent to you. If they're not feeling good, they can let you know. It even has things like where if employees are clocked in and you can see who all's available and maybe the service call comes in and you need to send that to someone, they can get it right to their phone, pick that up, get to the job, start their time for that job, end their time when the job ends, and all that helps you even be more accurate when it comes to things like job productivity, profitability, estimates versus expenses, and a whole host of other things. So again, super excited here, and we haven't even covered it all. But hopefully that shows you just a few of the ways that as you face these business challenges, we definitely have some tools to help streamline, help automate, and help you get more efficient as your business grows. We'll turn it back to you, Aaliyah.
As always, thank you so much, Matt, for sharing some of the, the nitty gritty when we get down to the end product benefits here. I thought that this slide was actually quite impactful, just to sort of, again, share return on investment and what you can see in terms of return with Intuit Enterprise Suite. So 299% return on investment over a 3-year period. And again, these are all from Forrester in the research that we did in conjunction with them. 447K projected net present value over 3 years, and then benefit of, almost $600,000 over 3 years. So I just thought these stats were really impactful. So wanted to just kind of end off the demo and the presentation with this slide. So thanks again, everyone, for taking the time. I know we really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Matt, do you want to say anything in closing?
Well, I just, what I'll say to kind of also be in support of these statistics, I would have the ones watching this today really just think about how much time do you spend? How many employee hours are spent on manually aggregating data? How much time does your CFO, for instance, spend on trying to put together reports? If you could automate those reports, if you could have those employees not focus, and I hear it all the time, it's not me. I ask customers, how are you doing this today? And they say, how many employee hours is going into Excel and gathering all that? And it's always at least 20 on the low end. And then it goes up from there, 30, 40, 50 hours. And it only gets more, compounds as you grow and you continue to get larger. So that's why we're so excited, some real value here. Let's, would love to hear from you and see how we can refine your processes, how we can save you time and, just get you a better set of tools. Super excited. So thanks for having me today, Leah. And I, appreciate, like I said, all that this software can do to help our larger growing businesses be more efficient.
And that's a wrap. Thank you.